Something has come out of left field. A brand new Pokémon! And Sam Trott has joined me to discuss it. My name is Nothing Just Go, and this is NVG Discussion! Okay, Sam. So I woke up like literally 20 minutes ago. Go on Twitter, check. Oh, more Star Fox rumors, people updating. What the hell, a new Pokemon? Oh my god, like, this took, like, when Korokoro said they're revealing something huge, I expected, like, Pokemon Z or, like, something to do with their movie, not a freaking new Pokemon. It's called Magiana, right?
Yeah, I'm still not sure if it's Magiana or Magiana. Either way, I actually quite like the Pokemon. I had a similar experience with it. I woke up, but I wasn't quite awake enough to even realize it. I was like, okay, new Pokemon, whatever. And then you messaged me, and it was like, a new Pokemon. I'm like, wait, oh. And then I looked it up, and it's like, I don't know, I quite like the Pokemon. I think. I'm still not 100% certain if it's Magiana or Magiana, but either way, I actually think it looks really cool.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a rabbit. Like, those ears kind of, look like rabbit ears. I think it's gonna be the little legendary of, like, Gen 7. Is that what you get the vibe of as well? Or do you think it'll just be some, like, a non-legendary, like Lucario and Zoroark and stuff?
Man, like, I'm kind of inclined to think that it would be a Pokemon more like Zoroark and Lucario, because I don't think that they've ever had a generation where they made the legendary the first thing that they officially reveal, but at the same time, it's like, it just doesn't look to me like or seem from the flavor text like a Pokemon that could be something besides a legendary.
So, like, you think it will be? You think it is a legendary or not a legendary?
Yeah, I think it will be a legendary.
Yeah. Plus, the movie is called Volcanion and the Exquisite Mechanical. I thought it said mythical for a second. I'm still really tired. I do like that it's man-made. That's kind of a cool concept. We don't have that many Pokemon that are man-made. I think it's just like Magnezone, Mewtwo, and now this. Maybe like Kling, I'm not sure.
There's also like the Porygon line and the Golett line, but there really isn't that many of them.
Right. I knew I was forgetting some stuff. And it's definitely going to be Steel type. I'm thinking Steel Fairy. Is that what you think as well?
You know, I could see that, because it definitely would have to be a Steel type, but I mean, it has the same vibe that they do with the fairies, like the way they've got the eyes and everything, so I can see that. Yeah, its eyes kind of remind me of, like, the Sylveon's eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, do we have a Steel Fairy? Oh, yeah, we have Klefki, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Klefki a little bit as well, like, the similar eyes and stuff. And if it's not a legendary, I think it's definitely going to be like an evolved form. I can see like a younger, like smaller looking like rabbit thingy existing, but I think it's going to be a legendary. So do you think like the new games are going to come this year, or do you think they're saving something for next year? What do you think?
Where they tend to have at least one game come out a year, and they haven't announced anything for this year yet. I still think that where they've been hinting at Pokemon Z for a while, I still feel like we're going to get that this year, and I feel like we'll get the new games like with this Pokemon next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. This is kind of like Munchlax in a way, where they revealed Munchlax like 2 years before Diamond and Pearl came out, and then Diamond and Pearl came out and Munchlax was in it. So I think this is the same thing. It is a bit early to reveal a new Pokemon though. Like, it's been like, how many years since X and Y? 2 years since X and Y? Right?
I kind of think it's been 3, to be honest with you. Yeah, because I know it has been a while. Yeah, because they came out back in October of 13, so it has been about 2.5 years since they actually came out.
Yeah, I guess it's a fair time. It just, time flies. Wow, like, I legitimately thought that we were not gonna get a new Pokemon until after, like after this October. Like, we'll get a new Pokemon, like, next year, like the same thing X and Y did, where we only got an X and Y Pokemon a couple months before X and Y came out, but I guess they want to make the hype go quicker this time. It's really shocking though, but I guess it's part of the Pokemon 20 thing, right?
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, I mean, I was thinking that, I mean, I didn't know exactly when I thought we were going to get one revealed, But I figured that we were going to get Pokemon, like a Pokemon Z, like probably about halfway through the year or so, and then like a couple of months afterward, get a Pokemon revealed, like a couple months after whenever Z comes out. So I'm more shocked about the fact that we had one revealed before it came out anywhere or was even officially announced.
Yeah, same. Do you think it will be like connected to Z at all? Because I don't think Munchlax was connected to Emerald at all, but it was an XD. Or do you think there'll be any references to this thing?
I don't know. I feel like if anything, it might be in one of the. I mean, if there's any spin-offs that come out in that time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, especially where it looks like a legendary. I don't know. I could see them just not having any references to it in anything until the actual game itself comes out.
Yeah. There's something I wanted to. Okay, what I'm thinking, we'll know if it's a legendary for sure or not, because Magiana is just its Japanese name, right? Like, it doesn't have an English name yet, which we'll probably find out in like a couple of days. If it has the same English name as Japanese name, it will probably be a legendary. Because typically, with the exception of like Landorus and like Zapdos, most legendaries have the same English name as Japanese name. So if it's called Magiana in English, it'll be legendary. But if it's like Magicanta, it'll probably be it probably won't be a legendary.
Yeah, and it's like in the early games, or like in the early games, you know, there is a few. I mean, there is like a lot who are similar. But I mean, in like the last few, there's only been like, there are some that are similar, but there's like 8 or so per gen. So it's like, if it is, then it is a lot more likely that it would be.
Yeah, but I'm going back to its design. I do have to admit, it like thinking about it more now, so it's like kind of woken up a bit more. It is a really cool idea for a Pokemon. It's like a robotic rabbit. Like, I could just imagine the backstory being like some scientist wants like a pet Pokemon. I mean, like a pet, so he programs like a pet rabbit, which is like a really cool idea for me, right?
Yeah, I actually really like the idea of the Pokemon. The only thing that really bugs me about it is that with all of these Pokemon that are man-made, they're like retroactively going back and adding them like, oh, okay, this was made 500 years ago. This was made by ancient civilizations, like they did with this and like they did with Golett. And it's like, so there's been no mention in any game, but yet it was a man-made one. It's one thing if it's like indigenous to an area, but with the fact that it's apparently man-made and there's just no record of it anywhere in any of the other regions, it's like, okay.
Well, I would think if it was man-made, it would be even less known because only one person made it. That means there's only like one of these things. So likely people haven't been like hearing of it that much. It's not like there's like I think it's crazier that people haven't heard of certain species of Pokemon because those are common, those are everywhere. This is likely just one thing. So it kind of makes more sense. On the other hand, that people haven't heard of it, right?
Yeah, true. I mean, I was just looking at reviewing everything about it that's revealed, which admittedly isn't much. And with the fact that even with the height with it, where it fits in at like the 1 meter height where it's not a very tall Pokemon, I kind of feel like that also goes in line with it being one of the small legendaries, as opposed to if it was like just a standalone Pokemon. Even if it was just like a standalone one, it would normally they don't have like that same like that size of them for one of the standalones. It would be closer to like 20 or something like that. So
yeah. Well, on the other hand, I think it says like Charizard's Dex height entry is like smaller than Ash in the anime. Like his Dex entry is like it's measured. Let me look at this right now. But I know it like if we went by its Dex entry in the anime, it would be smaller than Ash. Let me look this up right now. I want to see. I'm just curious how. Yeah, it's 1.7 meters according to the Dex, which is 5'7". That's how tall Charizard is supposed to be. So I don't think the Dex entries are like anything to go off of. But I do think this is still going to be the Little Legendary. But it's kind of crazy. We've never really gotten Little Legendary before, like in the pre-release. Usually, like we only find out about that closer to the release date of the games.
Yeah, and then it's like one of the last things revealed, like, here you go. Or if it's even revealed beforehand at all, a lot of the time they just save it until it actually releases, and then they're like, okay, now we'll push it. But
yeah. I wonder if this thing's going to be kind of like Victini, where like in the National Dex, it's considered number 0. Like it's not towards the end, it's the very, very beginning. Because Victini was also kind of revealed kind of early, and that was like revealed to be number 0. We didn't get the rest of the legendaries, like the event legendaries, until after the game came out. So I think if this is a Little Legendary, it's definitely going to be the event legendary. But the question is, will it be 0 or will it be like towards the end?
See, I was kind of giving thought to that, but I don't know. I don't feel like they would do the, like, especially where it's only been 2 generations afterwards. I don't really see them doing making it dex number 0 again. It seems like more of a one-off gimmick that if they repeat, it'd be a couple of generations beforehand. However, I would say that, I mean, I don't know, it does look like it would work really well as an event legendary, but I'm not sure if I can see it with them having revealed it as the first Pokemon. I can't see it being a Pokemon that's only available as an event. So I don't know. I kind of feel like it will be one that you can get through some normal means in game.
Yeah, you're probably right. Wait, what do you mean like normal means? Like you don't think it'll be an event legendary?
Yeah, I feel like it'll be the first ones that come to my mind are like Uxie and Azelf and Mesprit, where it's like they're mentioned in the story, and it's like you can go catch them afterwards, but you don't need an event for it. You just find them.
Yeah. No, but what I meant by this being like the little legendary, I meant to being like Mew, Celebi, Jirachi, Manaphy, like all those. Those are all like event legendaries that you can like event legendaries that usually star in a movie before their games come out or something. And I think this will be like the same thing here. I think it's gonna be an event legendary.
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, it definitely could work with it. I just don't. I mean, the only thing I would say is that if it is, I mean, if that is the case, and if it is the legend, I mean, if it ends up being the one for that, I take back what I said, and I feel actually. Let me see what the release date of the movie is.
I think it's this summer.
Yeah, if it's coming out this summer, then I take back what I was saying, and I feel like the EU game will come out earlier because if they do make it the event legendary like that. Normally they will use the actual, like, the movie as a way to drum up hype for it. So I can't see the movie coming out, like, a year before the actual game itself.
I don't know about that, actually. The Lucario movie came out... Diamond and Pearl came out in 2006 in Japan. The Lucario movie came out, if I'm getting my dates right, I'm pretty sure the Lucario movie came out a year before the Diamond and Pearl games because we got 2 Sinnoh movies before Diamond and Pearl. We got the Lucario one and the Manaphy one, and those released a year apart. So this could be like that too, where like this time we get the Magiana and Volcanion movie. The next year we'll get like another next gen legendary movie without any of the other Kalos legendaries. So I think we're definitely gonna get Gen 7 in 2017. I don't think Z is going to be this year. I think it's just a way to drum up hype and to have a movie be about a new Pokemon or something.
Fair enough. And I mean, I can see that. The only thing that throws me off a little bit about that is that whereas Lucario was a Pokemon that you could get through normal means, like it's just a Pokemon that you can evolve into, whereas the Manaphy movie is the one that came out right before the movie.
Yeah.
Because it's an event legendary. So I can't see a movie where the hype is around the event legendary happening before, I mean, like, that long beforehand. Like, where Lucario, it's like, he's mentioned a lot in the story, you get him through the actual, like, game, I can just buy the game, I never have to do anything, and I can get him. Whereas Manaphy came out, like, months before the game, I mean, the movie came out, like, a few months before the actual game, and that's the one that was more so based on event legendary.
Yeah, I know, that actually, goes back. That's actually a really good point. That goes back to why I was wondering if this will be like Lucario and Zoroark, and like not like a legendary. And actually talking about it with you now, I'm starting to think it's not going to be a legendary Pokemon. I could definitely see this thing having like a pre-evolution or whatnot. But do you think it's still going to be a legendary?
I don't know. I'm quite on the fence about it. My only thing is that where the descriptions that was, I mean, says that it was, I mean, that's Pokemon that was made. If anything, I can see it having an evolved form, but I don't think I can see it. I don't think I agree with the fact that it could have an unevolved form. It just doesn't seem like it'd be fitting for it. I can see it having an evolved form or being a standalone Pokemon, but I'm really on the fence about whether it'd be one of those or a legendary.
So you can't see it having some like cuter like robotic rabbit as a pre-evo, like maybe like a smaller rabbit with a geared face, then evolves into like this giant thing. You think this will have an evolution or be standalone?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, with the art, it kind of looks like it could, but at the same time, it's just with the flavor of it itself, where this is the Pokemon that was man-made, created 500 years ago, and I mean, if you think of any of the previous Pokemon that were man-made, because it was the only ones that were like actually like put as man-made, it was like Golett, Porygon, and I mean, then whatever the other one I said earlier.
Yeah.
And all three of them, I mean, yeah, and Rotom. and all
Yeah.
of them were like, were like they were made as that form. If anything, they have evolved forms later on, but none of them have like a pre-evolution after like the one that was made by man.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I completely, for some reason, even though it's its gimmick, I completely forgot about the man-made aspect where I was wondering if it has a pre-ev or not. I guess I'm just focusing on, like, the patterns rather than what it is. But, this moves on to another topic. Do you think the fact it's man-made is going to be, like, do you think it's going to give us any sort of clue what Gen 7 is going to be like? Like, if it's going to be based off, like, a country or something that has had a lot of inventions and stuff, or do you think this is just one Pokemon part of it? Or do you think it'll kind of reflect the theme of the gen?
You know, I never honestly thought of that. I think it would. I think it would end up making a really cool game if they have a theme or something like that. But especially if it being the first Pokemon, I don't think that any of the Pokemon that were revealed as the first Pokemon have ever really given us like a look into the theme of the game, unless I'm mistaken. But most of the time, it's like, for example, Munchlax, like stuff like that. It's really just an off Pokemon, and it takes until you get a few of them for them to start pointing toward a theme. So I don't know. I would like it to have something like that for a theme because it does sound really cool. However, I'm not sure if I could say that I think it points toward it, just especially where we've had man-made Pokemon before.
Yeah, that's true. Well, on the other hand, you said that Munchlax didn't point towards a theme. I kind of like to think the theme of Sinnoh was a lot of evolutions and pre-evolutions, and Munchlax was kind of like that. But on the other hand, I'm thinking of Zoroark, and that has nothing to do with like the urban theme of like Gen 5 or anything. But like if you had to choose a country to be what this region's based off, what do you think would be a cool country? If you have any answer or anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at it and see if I get any real vibes from any, but I can't honestly say that I'd have any country that really points toward for me. Would you?
I kind of like it'd be kind of cool if we had a Pokemon like thinking about it now. It'd be kind of cool to have a Pokemon region based off Germany. I think like Germany is actually known for like inventing a lot of things. Like my brother's in Germany now and he's an engineer. So I kind of like to think of Germany would actually be like kind of a cool Pokemon region to be based off, and you can have a lot of like it being based off inventions and stuff like that, and that'd be like a really cool idea in my opinion. Yeah, but you're probably right. This has probably nothing to do with the theme being based off inventions or anything.
Yeah, and even if it is the theme, I can't see it pointing toward a country. So it's like I don't know. If it was the theme, I would. I mean, like, it's that thing. I would like to see that because I'm just thinking a game more so based on like how stuff like Lumio City is, where it's like all really sophisticated and it's got like a lot of technology or like everything pushing you along. So I mean, a game with a big theme around that would actually be pretty cool for them to go toward. But I don't know. I would like it to be. I feel like anything I say toward it being like that would just be because I want it to be. I don't feel like I can see this pointing toward it yet.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just curious, what would you want it to be? Like, do you have any like hopes for Gen 7?
Honestly speaking, I haven't given it much thought yet, mostly because it's like I was more so looking towards Z. This came like out of left field. I wasn't even expecting to start thinking about a Gen 7 game yet. So I mean, really, I'm more so just gonna see when a little bit more is revealed and just see what it seems to be pointing toward. But at this point, I have no clue what to even hope for.
You mean you're gonna Z what it's pointing towards, right?
I hate you.
Anyway, so what, like, just to wrap up, I think we talked about this before, but you think this game's gonna release this year or next year?
I think it'll release next year unless this does end up being an event legendary, at which point I kind of feel like it'll release late this year. However, at that point there wouldn't be a Z, so yeah, I feel like it will be next year, because otherwise we wouldn't get a Z.
I don't think there's any sort of chance whatsoever Gen 7 is coming this year. Because, another thing, if Gen 7 was coming this year, they would have announced Gen 7 with the Pokemon. Remember with X and Y? They announced those games with the new Pokemon. But we don't have any, like, Pokemon Wall and Brick. It's just a Pokemon with, like, no name or anything, no commercial. So I still think Z is going to be the main game this year, and then Gen 7 is going to be next year. It's just a way to drum up hype, right?
True, though, if I remember right, I think that Gen 6 was the exception to that, because when they released Zoroark, or when they revealed, like, Munchlax, or like in the previous gens, it was like Kecleon, Ho-Oh, etc. I don't feel like there was really I don't think that there was anything really like that where it was like, this is the new Pokemon game. It was like, here, a new Pokemon's revealed, and then everyone would drum up hype. And even like with the side ones, when it's like, with the Rotom forms being revealed to point toward Platinum, they weren't like, this is the new thing coming out. It was just like, here's your silhouette, and it's like, drum up hype, and then get people hyped for that, and then drop the ball.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, because when those were revealed, the Pokemon games didn't come out that year either. X and Y were the only Pokemon games to come out the year they were announced. And those Pokemon revealed without a game, and the game only came out the next year. So I think it's going to be the same thing here.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, that definitely. I mean, I feel like that would point toward it, especially where I was already thinking that it would come out next year, just because, I don't know, with them pointing towards Z so much, and especially like with the new Zygarde forms revealed, it wouldn't make sense for them not to have a game based on Z. So it really wouldn't make sense not to have it. And if Gen 7 comes out this year, then came out this year theoretically, I don't feel like there would be any hope for a Z, because I don't think that they would release a game in like a Gen 7 game, and that's like, oh, here's a Gen 6 game too. So,
Oh, hey, you know the anime's called X, Y, and Z? Let's have Pokemon Brick. Let's forget about Z.
is it who even needs it? Or unless they made it like compatible with the new ones, but even still, then we'd have a third version that isn't compatible, can't trade with the old versions, because that wouldn't make sense.
That would be super duper weird. So, Sam, I think we've talked long enough. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
Not offhand. I just wanted. I just hope that this ends up being a good. That this does end up being a good generation. That the Pokemon are actually fun, because I don't know. I've been quite liking the Pokemon the last couple of gens, so I hope they keep that up.
I like 5, but 6 I haven't been too big on. Maybe because I'm kind of getting a bit worn out, and also because there wasn't that many new Pokemon this go around. I don't know. Like, I was kind of disappointed, but I think Z. Usually, if I don't like the first 2 games, like the third version makes me love them. So I think if we get a Z, it's gonna make me love X and Y. At least that's what I'm hoping. Because so far, I've been too impressed. But I do think if they focused on substance in the next one, like, they focus on like having a theme like inventions, and they have like a story-focused game again, and not just like, oh, we have every single Pokemon in the decks now. I think it'll be a really good gen. And Gen 6 kind of felt like a bridge of filler to get the game into 3D that they rushed out quick because they wanted a Pokemon game on the 3DS already.
Fair enough, and it does seem to be the normal opinion of that. I mean, I'm one of the people who was like, I actually really liked Gen 6, and it was probably my favorite. However, I do get where people are coming from with a lot of the designs that, well, I like them. People make good points for how some of them are like, don't seem like they make sense or anything. So really, it does make sense, and that's why I really hope that this one does end up being really good. So. Yeah.
So anyway, thank you for joining me on a last-minute discussion. Seriously, I have school in like 2 hours. I'm not even ready yet.
That's new Pokemon. It's worth it. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, I was like, God, I have to get this discussion done already. Screw school. Screw the midterm I have. And thank you guys for tuning into another NVG discussion. And hey, if you like hearing my awesome, not really voice, you can click the eye in the top right corner to watch the first episode of my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. And for even more content that I produce, you can click one of the videos here to go to a playlist of all the cool different things I do. That's all for now. Later.